Jim Demelo again, coming to you from the Music Manor in Lansing, and I want to talk to you today about a groove that I've been getting asked a lot about over the last, I'd say, couple weeks, and that is the Fool in the Rain groove by John Bonham of Led Zeppelin, of course. And the reason why I think this is getting a lot of attention right now is because there's actually a video on YouTube right now of John Bonham's drum part isolated, so you can just hear him playing. And so a lot of students have been asking me about it lately, so I decided to make this video breaking down the main points of the groove and some of the different concepts covered, especially if you're a beginner and you don't know about a lot of these concepts. Hopefully this will break it down for you. I'm not going to cover absolutely every detail of the groove because I don't want the video to be an hour long. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover some of the general aspects, and then if you have questions you can always leave them in the comments down below. But I'll be covering, a few different general concepts, and again, if you're not familiar with them, it'll be helpful because this will help you develop the groove and then hopefully be able to play it. I'm also going to try to link the video that has John Bonham's drum part so you can hear that also and maybe play along to that as well. So let's get started. Cool, so now let's try that a little bit slower and a little bit lower in volume so you can kind of see what's going on. Let's start with the first element, and the first element is the fact that this groove is a shuffle. And what is a shuffle? Well, a shuffle is a groove, or a type of groove, that is based off of triplets. And if you don't know what a triplet is a group of 3 notes, and the way you would count them is 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Just like that. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So, for example, quarter notes, 1, 2, 3 triplets. Quarters, triplets. And so what the shuffle is doing is it's breaking up the triplet using the first and third note, like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. But when you count this, you're not actually going to count it as 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. It's okay to start with that, but what you're really going to do is you're going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, just like eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So hopefully that'll make a little bit more sense about how to play the shuffle. And again, you don't want to play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's straight. You want it to make sure that it shuffles and is based off of the triplets. Just like that. So that's the first element. The second element is the fact that this is being played in half time. So, for example, just a halftime shuffle. So basically what's going on there is the fact that it's in halftime is that when you play a normal groove, you have 2 bass drum notes and 2 snare drum notes if you're playing just a basic rock groove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So 2 bass drum notes and 2 snare drum notes. So what you're going to do is play 1 bass drum note on beat number 1 and 1 snare drum note on beat number 3. You're playing half as many bass drum and snare drum notes, which is half time. That's a very simple explanation for it, but again, I don't want the video to be like an hour long. So, again, normal, just 2 bass drum, 2 snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Half time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice my right hand hasn't changed. 4, 1, 2, 3, time. So let's apply that to the shuffle now. So we're counting it as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And we're playing the bass drum on 1 and the snare drum on 3. And that sounds like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So already you're getting a sense of what it's going to sound like. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So now what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about ghost strokes. And ghost strokes are basically just a very light tapping on any surface. Dynamically, or volume-wise, they're very low. Like that. Very low strokes. And in fact, calling them strokes, I don't even like to call them strokes, I think of them as taps. Because when you say stroke, it has this connotation of like you're actually making a full sort of almost accented stroke. So when you think stroke, but a ghost stroke is just a very light tap. Notice my hand doesn't really move that much at all. Quick demonstration of just quite a few ghost strokes. Go ahead and watch the left hand. So notice that my hand isn't really making a lot of strokes, except when I want a louder note. So, these ghost strokes in the John Bonham groove are occurring. Remember, the shuffle is playing the first and third note of the triplet, right? One triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. So what you're going to do is you're going to play the hand on the trip, and it's going to be a very light tap. This can be a little bit funny at first because what you're going to want to do is either play the right hand note too soft or the left hand note too loud. So if it makes it easier, just don't play the left hand as a ghost stroke. Play it as a normal stroke just to get the pattern down, which is right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right. Like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, and so on. Then what you're going to do is you're going to eventually try to quiet that hand down and play more like this. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. You kind of see how that works? It goes like this. So hopefully that makes sense. Now, what is going on in the groove is that he's not playing every single ghost stroke, but he is playing a few of them, a couple of them, and it looks something like this. I'm going to try to play it a little bit slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that ghost stroke? 1, 2, triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1, 2 triplet, 1, 2 triplet. Alright, cool. So, the three elements again are the fact that a shuffle is being played, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The fact that it's in halftime, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And the fact that ghost strokes are being used. So, he is doing an open hi-hat accent. I think it's on the and of 1. Yeah, and there's a few other elements going on, and there's some drum fills as well, and I'm not going to cover them in the scope of this video. But again, the main idea is to just get the three concepts of shuffle, halftime, and ghost strokes down. And of course, these can be really useful in playing a lot of other types of grooves. So for example, you could play every single one of the ghost strokes in the middle note of the triplet, and you would have something that sounds like this. And then if you play that as an entire groove, it might sound something like this. So, you know, or whatever, and you can experiment with that and start to get used to this pattern because it's a really commonly used pattern, and you can have a lot of fun with it. And then this will also help your dynamics. So there's a lot. I think that covers just about everything that I haven't really been able to talk to you guys about in the lesson room. Again, the shuffle concept, the concept of halftime, and the concept of ghost strokes. And again, you know, I could do whole lessons on each one of these individual, multiple lessons probably on each one of these individual concepts, but I just wanted to give you a real general overview. Again, down below I'm going to link the actual John Bonham video that a lot of you guys have seen with just his drum track, and then also I'm going to give some other famous examples, including, you know, the big ones, Jeff Porcaro, the Rosanna Groove, and also Bernard Purdie, the Purdie Shuffle, and everything like that. So you guys can kind of see some different versions of this and kind of see what you're going to be able to do with it. What I also recommend is, in addition to going really super slow with this stuff, is concentrate on one thing at a time. So again, you've got 3 different main concepts that you're working on, but if you're working on them, you don't want to try to work on them all at once. So start by just working on one at a time, and then add one other element, you know, so work on the shuffle. Then practice halftime, but practice it just normally, you know, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and, or, you know, a straighter version with straight eighth notes. And then practice ghost strokes and practice playing ghost strokes and kind of examine your hands. Again, really good things to do are to practice in front of a mirror so you can actually see what your hands are doing. But the other thing that I would stress about this is to go slow, be patient, take a lot of time with this stuff, and make sure that you're not going too far too fast, because that'll lead to a lot of tension. And so even if you're able to get the pattern down, it'll sound really stiff and really cramped. And one of the best parts of a ghosted halftime shuffle is that it has this really kind of laid back feel. So check that out, check out all the different links, and again, if you have further questions, go ahead, hit me on the website, hit me on Twitter, or just leave them in the comments in the video here, and I will get to them as best I can. And that's pretty much it. So you guys take care, and I'll see you soon.